Hello and a warm welcome back to you all. Hope you guys are all okay. You catch me playing trains for a little while. I haven't been down here for a long time actually properly playing trains, so it's nice to have a couple of hours. In fact, I've been down here 4 hours running around with trains. It's really nice to do. Got 3 running around the layout. I've got the old BR 108 in BR blue, and I've got the BR green class 25 just going through the station, which you'll see come behind me. And over in that corner I've got the old class 33, and then that's the Dutch livery, the one that you saw me doing all the weathering to make it look old, even though it's a brand new loco. And I'm really happy with the results. I've sprayed the roof again. I've done a less is more and just stuck to my heart and pulled away when I thought I had enough, and then let it dry, and then had a look back once it dried instead of trying to apply more and more. So I literally done little bits and just to maintain what I was making, and I'm really happy with the results. That's really good. This is going to be a layout update for you, and pretty much a part 2 of the parcel depot, and I think that will bring the layout up to speed where that should fit over there. And then I've got some new projects that I'm doing. So this is something that I've decided to rebuild and redo, and one will be some work to do with the underneath, and I've got a project to do with one of the other parts of the layout that I want to do some work to. So these are things that I think will be a bit of interest and sort of help me follow on and keep the videos going, because I'm struggling to do videos at the moment. I've got new software with the editing, and of course I do all my editing on the phone, and with my eyesight, my hearing, I'm struggling to see stuff. And I can only apologise for the previous video, which was the building of the parcel depot. All the sound was pretty much erratic. It was all over the show. So I apologise, intensely for that. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully going forward, it'll be pretty much one level, and I'm trying to maintain that. So till I can progress to newer, devices to do, this editing on. You might have spotted in the corner here, the old NSC seat has actually made its prime place of a proper chair. So I've used the original seat and made a proper frame for it, and I've re-sewn the back into a cushion with the original fabric. So I've now got my Mark II NSE coach seat, nice and comfy, and that's absolutely beautiful. So if you ever pop round to say hello, you're welcome to have a little sit on the old nostalgic seat and realise how comfy one of these seats are as compared to today's hardboard things. So yeah, that's finally been done, and I'm really happy the way it's turned out. So I think what we'll do, we'll plod on with the old update, and we'll get on with the work that we've been doing. So this is where we left off from the last video, and as you can see, we did a dry fit. Now I've got to rip up the old track, lay some new track, ballast and paint the rails and all that. So let's carry on with the next phase. So as I'd mentioned, I did rip up the old track, and I've now laid some nice new fresh track, so that's always good to do. I did have 2 spurs in mind. I've actually just gone for the 1 straight run into the platform, and I think that actually gives me a better look and a cleaner sort of area for the parcel depot, which is what I was really trying to achieve. All I'm doing now is actually painting the rails with rail match paints, and I'm using a sleeper grime colour or frame dirt, whichever you prefer. Sometimes it's really hard to get hold of sleeper grime. Frame dirt is more readily available, I've noticed, and there is not a lot between the two. So I'm just adding that, and also adding some paint to the sleepers. So we'll carry on, and then we'll get this all ready to prepare for our ballast work. So before we make the loading bay door, I'm actually going to make the platform edge itself, the actual top surface. Now I've taken some plastic card. Now this is 20 thou, which is about 1/2 mil. And I've just cut the shape by 1, which is the platform surface. I thought I'd do it out of plastic card as opposed to card, so it's a bit different. I've sprayed it over in a light grey and added some like crack effects to it, using sandpaper and then washing blacks in. I'm using a black here and a concrete mix, and I'm just going to dab, or sponge dab, dry sponging some black definitions to the surface. And again, I'm going to do this with the concrete colour in a second. And just doing this rubbing on, rubbing off, I find works quite well, and you get like different tones, and just keep working them in. So I've just added the actual platform edge to the bit that actually hold underneath, which is the brickwork underneath, so it would be nice and strong. I'm just going to add the canopy just to get an overall sort of compare the two. Look, I've actually added the concrete colour, which is Woodland Scenic acrylic, which is concrete colour. I've added to these pillars, just sort of matching and tie with a bit of black as well. So should all look good. Okay, the loading bay door itself. So let's take the same sheet of plastic card. Again, it's the 220 thou. I've cut a little aperture out, enough to cover the loading bay door that I want to use, and I create a door frame all around it, which I've used 5mm thick plastic card and just framed it around. You can buy many things. Just going to spray it over in a black acrylic afterwards once I've done, but that'll do for the moment. I need to sort of put a base to it. Taking the paper stencil, which I'm going to put on top of this, it's a loading door. It's flat, so I'm going to create an embossing, and if you take something like a corrugated sheet and run your nail over it or pencil over the top surface, you'll get an embossing over your paper, and that'll look like little ridges on your paperwork. So I thought that'd be a really cool thing to add. So once I've done that, I'm going to put that onto there, glue the two together, but first I need to spray it over in some black. Just checking it all fits, that's the next thing. Make sure it doesn't stick up too far and it's not in the way of anything, because there's nothing worse than making something and it doesn't fit. So just check that. That goes into the canopy. That's all good. Right, so I think what we'll do, we'll take it away, spray it over, and then glue it all up. So okay, so we sprayed it black, and gives it some keying for the glue, so it really helps the next process. Just check it all fits. Yep, that looks good. Got our embossing on there, and so what we'll do, we'll add some glue. So taking some Yoo-hoo glue, just put that in and around the frame where you need it, and then just tease your paper to it. Give it a little press. Just make sure it's straight before you fine glue it. Always best to practice and test these things. Yep, that's good. And then push it down and let that set. And I think what we'll do, just check it out the canopy, and we'll stick it up on the warehouse wall on the layout. So this is the loading bay door. I've added a little bit of green around it because I've seen some in blue and some in green. I think green's the most popular colour. Ones I've seen at work are green. So just add some glue, again Yoo-hoo, put that in place on the back wall. Let's push that on. Yep, that should just stick. Try and keep it square. That looks good. Happy with that. Just a little bit straight there. That's all right. The only thing I need to add is this tiny little step bit underneath the door, which is like a loading bay ramp bit. You see that on loading bay, so I think put that in place. Again, just green plastic card. Push that. There we go. I think that's all done. So let's place the canopy on, just check it all fits in, no problems, and that's all good. All I need to do now is add the ballast in here, so I think that's the next process. So we'll put that in. Okay, to do the ballasting, to fix it in place, a method that I use, and it works quite well for me, is I use IPA in a spray bottle. I spray over the dry ballast just to create a surface, and then once that's on, I then add my 50% PVA glue with the water mix with a drop of fairy liquid just to sort of break up the surface tension. I literally spray that all over the dry ballast, and then I just add another little further coat of IPA just to seal it in and dry it quicker. So on feel, it actually looks like it's all dry. It's just setting in some places. So I'm going to put the canopy in its right position just to make sure the little recesses underneath the pillars fit perfectly. And they're good. That's nice. So it's nice little, no little gaps underneath, and that can easily pull on and off. So that's a nice little fit. That's good. So I think really next phase for this is to actually weather the track in to suit the rest of the layout, and sort of tie it all in. Add some spraying. So I think we'll get the airbrush out and we'll spray all along here and tie it all in. So airbrushing, this is quite an easy bit for me. This is a cheapy jobby airbrush, just one of them cheap jobs with the actual compressor. So nothing fancy. Again, I only use this with acrylics because I find it keeps the brush cleaner. As long as you clean your brush out, these brushes will last you quite a while. They're quite good. This is just acrylic rail match sleep grime, and I'm just literally blasting over the track work in places, just building up a little bit of a heavy definition. Again, I'll add some sort of black to it afterwards. Again, as before, this is just the black, adding definition in places and just dirtying out certain areas that sort of catch in the corners and stuff. Right then, time to do a fun little project. Now you've seen me take wagons that look like toys and turn them into good rolling stock for our layouts. So I thought it's time to do a coach. Now obviously you can see it's pre-molded. This goes back to the archive. This is going out a long time, but if you've got something like that and you put that on your layout, it doesn't quite fit in with all the lovely detailed logos that are now on the market today. So how do we take something like this and turn it into something like that? Now the concept is exactly the same, it just needs weathering and some colouring. So that coach there cost me £50 to have professionally made up. So I'm going to take this coach and I'm going to spray the roof grey, and I'm going to weather all the sides and tone it in and add washes to the sides, similar to what I did with the Class 33. Now I know I can do it, so I think this will be a great little sort of demonstration to do it on some rolling stock for a change. Okay, so let's crack on with some weathering. Okay, with the little coach on the table, that little aperture, which is the catch system for the basket for the mail, then we'll take them out and I'm going to replace them with this kind of window in there, or the door, so it looks pretty much the same as the other coach. So I think what we'll do is take it all apart. Now to take it apart, there's two little lugs or catches just underneath there and the other end. And tease the body off, and all the mechanism, that all needs to come out, so we'll separate all this. Right. Okay, so I've left in the two middle weight bits in the middle because that'll add the weight to the carriage. So I've just added a little plastic card to keep them out of the way. So I've made the aperture. This is made out of plastic card to represent the doorway, and that will just slide in there, and the glass will hold it in place just behind it. So all we need to do now is to spray them the same red as the other wagons. So I think I'll take them down to the shed and spray them over. Okay, so I'm using Vallejo, that's not easy to say, Vallejo red, and obviously I'm doing rail match paints. That's the roof dirt black and frame dirt. So let's start with the red and do the door bit. The airbrush. Okay, back on the kitchen table. Right, so it's time to assemble it all. Let's get all the components, put it all back together and strip off all the masking tape. Right, let's rip the masking tape off. And then you can see all that lovely work that highlights that lovely bright roof. Now let's fast forward this, otherwise it would take hours just to watch this. So I think it just helps the monotony. I certainly loved seeing the reveal, very rewarding. That was good. Okay, it's time to glue in the little aperture bit, the doorway. So I'm just using super glue, and I'm gluing that into its correct place, holding it for a couple of seconds, and the glass will hold that all in place anyway, so it will stop it from moving. So that's all good, that's all wrapped up. I think we'll fit the glass in, that's all in, and now fit the body. I think then we'll go and just add the final dusting of weathering on the top. Looks good. Okay, so I'm just adding some blemishes down the sides, or shut lines, using black and some enamel thinners, because that works really well, so I've been told. So that helps get in the little shut lines, and sort of rubbing on and rubbing off sort of technique to get some stains. Okay, so I'm just adding some frame dirt and some black all over the coach, just to get some weathering highlights, and I'm going to add some black to the roof, so just give it a good little weathered look. So I think we'll finish this off and then compare the two together. So there is our original coach, the one in the middle, or the one just on the left there. You can see that is the original coach that I obviously paid quite a bit of money to have professionally weathered. And then on the end here, the actual nails on the left is the one that I've just actually finished, and they look pretty much identical. One's a Bachmann and one's a Hornby, so they tie in quite nicely. Really pleased with this. A nice simple project. Certainly turns a toy looking coach into something that's more desirable on the layout. I think adding that little door there and getting rid of the catch mail system certainly has brought it up to a modern look. So yeah, good little fix and a fun little project. So that's the parcel depot all finished and completed, and I'm really pleased the way it's all turned out. I think it really needed revamping. Obviously this was one of the first things I did from going back when I started the layout. I think it was in 2016, 2015 was the building time. So it's come a long way in them 4 years. So I think it was due to be rebuilt. Obviously we've done new track work. Taking out that point I think was a very good idea, and completely reballasting it and re-weathering, so everything's back as it should be. So I think that's another job ticked off the list. So there we go, quick t-shirt change because I'm sweating more than a vicar at a celebrity wedding here. It's not too bad in here actually, it's quite pleasant. That's that all done, job done, tick done. Next project for me will be the underneath the layout. So I'm going to do a whole video on the underneath the layout and give all the dimensions, the incline down, because a lot of people ask me, and I think it'd be good to actually expose the whole lot and probably change a bit of the track work, make it a little bit more pleasant, because some of it, this side doesn't quite work. This one's brilliant, I love all this, but this side doesn't quite work, so I need to just tighten a little bit. So that will be over the next month, the next video. So I've got to do some work to it and video it, all that kind of thing. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And another little project that I will be doing is on this side of the layout. Now that road represents the road that comes out from Old Oak Common Depot and it goes round to North Acton Station. So at the moment I've just got a little building there and it's a dead end, but I would like it to sort of have some sort of finesse to sort of like carry on. So that's another thing that I'm working on. I've got some ideas, but I've got to make sure that I can get the landscape to fit. Otherwise I don't want it just to look like it's plonked, and I don't want it to look overcomplicated. So that's another project as well. So all in all, a busy little video, lots of things going on and some projects done, so really happy with that. I just would like to say a massive thank you for everyone that follows and subscribes and comments and just keeps me going. You guys are fantastic, so thank you immensely. Look after yourselves, keep happy, keep smiley, and I shall catch you all very soon. Cheerio guys.